Hello, welcome to Win Some Lose More. My name is Dieter Loosemore and you join me for Solo Central, a series of videos where I play through games in my collection that have a solo mode. Today is a game that isn't usually within my realm of genres and kind of tastes and that kind of thing thematically. This is Arkham Horror, the card game. This is a fantasy flight game similar in structure to some degree, design as Marvel Champions, and they kind of iterate off one another. That same living card game concept where little bits are added just by tiny little expansions that they release on a regular schedule. I'm not into Cthulhu, as you may know. Horror isn't something that interests me, but some people in my gaming group wanted to do a campaign, and I like Marvel Champions, I like Lord of the Rings, the living card game, I like that system, so I was like, fine, I'll give it a go. And somebody in that group very, very graciously, very generously, just gave me some stuff that they had extras, so I now have a printing. A copy. I do need to point out this is the original printing. They've recently done a revised version with tweaks and extra stuff and whatnot. I can't account for what those changes are, so everything you'll see is from this box. Again, I have some expansion stuff that I'm playing through myself, but for the purposes of this, I've put together one of the starter decks that they suggest. Not the you're playing on your own for the first time, use that. I just wanted to try a different character. So let's see how I get on with the first in the little campaign that comes in Arkham Horror, the card game base box. I'm all set up for the first scenario in the box. This is the Gathering. Some extra clues on how some of the tokens work. I've set myself up as Daisy Walker, following the deck construction in the manual that we've got over here. I always get stuff wrong. It's got different stats, really good at investigating there. 5, this is for skill checks, bad at fighting, okay, agility, and intelligence checks, whatever they're called. Wisdom, maybe, not sure. I've only got 5 health, so if I get hurt, I might die quickly, but she's got a decent, she can tolerate a lot of horror before she goes mad, and I lose that way. But what is going on? Well, let's read the things that start with what's going on. There is an agenda, which is the bad stuff that happens, and the acts, which are the good stuff. Well, how I win if I complete the acts. And it tells me a bit of a story. So what's going on? It's late at night. You are holed up in your study researching the bloody disappearances that have been taking place in the region. A few hours into your research, you hear the sound of a strange chanting coming from your parlour down the hall. At the same time, you hear dirt churning as if something were digging beneath the floor. As you leap to investigate, the door to your study vanishes before your eyes, leaving behind only solid wall. You're trapped inside your study until you can find another way out. So these will sit there, and I either need 2 clues to progress the story, or 3 doom to progress the agenda of the bad guys. During the setup, it told me to get rid of to get ready the study. Now, locations typically come in on the locked side. There we go, with that little keyhole there, bit of a description, but because I'm there, this is just going to mark me. It flips over. I am in this location in the study. Now, there will be 2 clues per investigator. Obviously it's solo, so it's just 2 clues. That's what's there available to find, and that's what I need to escape. But to test against that, the shroud, how difficult it is to figure out those clues, is 2, but I have a 5. A very handy player aid here, which tells me where it goes, and it says with the Mythos phase to skip during the first round, so we're going straight to investigation phase, in which I get 3 actions. And again, the other side is just a list of what the actions are that cost me, but the simplest ones, I start with 5 cards, I start with 5 supplies, and I can use an action to play a card by paying the cost in supplies back. So, do I want to gain extra resources? Spend a resource, gain investigation, or gain an agility for evading. An ally. After Research Librarian enters play, search your deck for a tome asset and add it to your hand. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend 2. So this is my first action, spend 2 supplies, bring in an ally. I'm only allowed 1 ally, and they will have the symbol in the bottom, and it says when it comes in, have a look through my deck for a tome asset. I'm assuming they're going to be there's a tome, exhaust book of lore, choose an investigator or location, that'll be me, such as the top 3, no, excuse me. What else have we got? Choose an investigator, test +2, do I have anything that will help me fight, because our fighting isn't great? No, are they the only 2 tomes? Ooh, ally, tome, let's just have a look what else is in here. Tome, practice, no, okay, 2 tomes to choose from. Do I want the medical? Yeah, I want to be able to heal. Let's get the medical texts and add it to my hand and then shuffle my deck. Okay. Because any ally that I have has their own health and horror, so they can absorb some for me. So that's 1 action. Do I want to play this, bring it in? Yeah, sure, let's spend another 2 to bring in, let's just move this around. Now this has a hand symbol where instead of the ally one, and because a person, Daisy Walker certainly has 2 hands, I can have 2 of these cards in play that show 1 hand, like this flashlight here or something. I think that's it. I'm going to do investigation for my 3rd action, so it's a skill test against 2 to 5, so I need to check against the chaos bag. I've set this up to be easy because I don't tend to do so well, and I just draw a random chip, and this is some form of modifier for the outcome. So currently I'm winning 5 to 2, 0. So it is just 5 to 2, so I succeed, so I gain a clue. That's my 3 actions. So after investigation phase, enemy phase, there are no enemies, we don't need to worry about that. Upkeep. Ready any exhausted cards, I didn't do that. Each investigator draws 1 card and gains a supply. Now we're back at the top, which is the mythos phase. This is how the bad stuff happens, because the first thing, doom, goes on the agenda. If I'd hit 3, this would move on, something bad would probably happen, the bad part of the story would move on, but as it is, it doesn't, so I have to take an encounter card and do whatever it says. Obscuring fog, attached to your location. Attached location gets +2 shroud. And then after attached location is successfully investigated, discard obscuring fog. Okay, so this is here. So it gets +2 shroud, so I'm actually fighting against 4. But that's all that happens. That's probably the nicest one. I'm going to spend an action to draw a card. That's 1 action. Okay, still don't really have anything to help me fight. Oh snap, I definitely want that in play. Oh, that's a 1 time, that's just for a round. Okay, so I want to hold on to that, because that lets me use my investigation score for either fighting or evading, because fighting is only 2. Do I want any of these other things out? Let's +1 mind. Let's get hyper awareness in, so I spend my 2 resources. Let's put that to one side. It doesn't have a little symbol, so I can have as many just normal assets as I like, and it has an ability that I can trigger any time that doesn't cost me an action. Anyone with an arrow costs me an action, this does not. So let's draw, play. Let's do 3rd action of testing against this. And that's it. Let's see what happens. So I'm going 5 to 4 because of the obscuring fog, and I draw a 0 again. There are more than 1 in here. So I successfully investigated, which means this goes away. And I have all the clues that I need. Let's just finish off the round. No enemies. Let's do upkeep. Nothing was exhausted, so I draw a card, gain a supply, and now I get to, we check this, so I spent my 2 clues, because that's what I asked for, 2 per player, but there's just me. What happens? You notice the edges of your newly purchased rug are tattered and mud-stained. Finding this odd, you shift the furniture aside and pull back the rug. To your surprise, you see the door leading out of your study. Below me, okay? You slowly turn the knob and the door swings open, revealing your hallway below. You jump through the doorway, landing on your feet on soft dirt. The door to the study slams shut above you. The smell of burning wood fills the narrow hall, intermingled with the scent of root rot and decay, and then some instructions put into play the set-aside hallway, cellar, and attic and parlour. Discard enemy in the study, there wasn't any. Place each investigator in the hallway and remove the study from the game. And we're now on the second one. So, study's gone from the game, hallway, parlour, attic and cellar. Let's just put them out like that. And as helpful reminders, each location has its own symbol, in the top corner, and then it tells you which ones they are connected to by doors. So this one, the brown cross, was at the bottom of the hallway, so they're connected, but these are not. A glowing barrier, new part of the story, blocks the path to the parlour, so I can't go to the parlour. I'm in the hallway. As you move towards it, intense heat forces you to back away. Picking up a handful of dirt, you toss it at the barrier and watch in horror as the dirt incinerates. Perhaps there's something in the cellar or attic that can help. Objective. When the round ends, investigators in the hallway may, as a group, or just me, spend the requisite number of clues to advance, and it's 3 per player, so just 3. Because I'm in the hallway, we reveal it. It's got a shroud of 1, but it has 0 clues inside. There are some cards that might put clues here, that's why this still has a shroud value. Okay, so that was the end of that. Beginning of the new round, Mythos phase. We get a doom, but it doesn't trigger, and I have to resolve an encounter card. Frozen in Fear. Put Frozen in Fear into play in your threat area that's above me. First time you perform one of the following actions, move, fight, or evade, each round it costs an additional action. And then at the end of my turn I have to do a mind test. I don't know what it's called. If you succeed, discard it. Okay, so it's going to cost me 2 actions to move anywhere. Unless I have something that will help me do that. Which I don't. Spend to get mind. Oh, I don't have the resources to do that. Okay, 1 action. Let's bring this into play. It cost me nothing. It's an event, so it's just a one-time thing. Gain 3 resources. That goes into my discard. I just need some resources for other things. But now it's going to cost me 2 actions to move. Let's go to the attic. Why not? So now that I'm there, this flips over. Forced. After you enter the attic, take 1 horror. I'm going to take that myself, because if my librarian took 1, he'd be dead. Oh, but they're not giving me anything. Yeah, sure, why not? They're going to take it, but they only have a threshold of 1, so they are gone. But it doesn't give me anything and frees me up to have more. The bloody carcass of a malformed beast swings from a meat hook chained to the ceiling. Blood drains slowly from the carcass, dripping into a small barrel. Beautiful. A shroud of 1, and there are 2 clues here. Okie dokie, that's all written on the card there. So that's all 3 actions. So now, at the end of my turn, although she has a thing, you may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used on tome abilities. Oh, I could have kept him, because this lets me heal. Never mind, it's done now. Can't do that. Forced at the end, take 3 mind. If you succeed, discard Frozen in Fear. I'm just going to do a raw check, because it's 3 versus 3. There are minuses, there are pluses, there are all sorts in this bag. 0. Wow. It's like there are only zeros in here. So that succeeds, because you only have to match the number. That's done. End of the round. Refresh anything that used. Nothing was used. Draw a card. Gain a resource. Beginning of the round. Doom. Doom. I've hit 3, so this now flips, and we move on. Your house continues to change before your very eyes. The walls have decayed, and the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. It is almost as if you've been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and then you recognise elements of your former home. The lead investigator, that's me, must decide. Choose one. Either each investigator discards one card at random from their hand, or the lead investigator takes 2 horror. I'm going to discard a random card from my hand because I don't know this deck well enough to know what's useful and what's a waste. Let's get rid of this one. Manual dexterity. There were 2 of these in my hand anyway, so that's not too bad. Fine. And now I have to resolve an encounter card. A flesh eater spawns in the attic. Well, that's a shame. I'm in the attic. So that comes here. If anything ever spawns where an investigator is, automatically engages with you. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Because I would need to do a skill test of 4 on the fighting. She only has 2 to even hit it, and it has 4 health. Well, butts. Okay, but that is that resolved. So it's back to me. What do I want to do? I've got a good number of resources now. I want to investigate. Can I investigate? No. The first thing I have to do, if you're engaged with an enemy and spend an action to do anything except fight or evade, it gets to attack me for free, which I don't want to happen, so let's do an evade check. My evade is currently 2. I can spend, and for each one that I spend I get +1 to that. Its evade score is 1. Or I can contribute cards, commit cards they call it, commit, and I get the tags on it, which weren't of any use before. This one would give me 2 of the evade symbols, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get rid of my other one of these, so it's 2 plus 2 is 4 is my current thing. There is a token in here which just fails it automatically, but my first action I'm going to attempt to evade. So currently it's 4 to 1. And, oh, the best one, automatic success. No, it's not an automatic success at all. It gives me whatever my character's effect is, which is actually +0. If you succeed, draw 1 card for each tome you control. I control 1, so I'm going to add 1. Nice. But I did succeed. So I've evaded them, which exhausts them and leaves them at the site. Okay, I'm going to investigate, now that I'm free to, for 1 action. Yes, because I want to move out of here, otherwise it's going to get me. Let's investigate. So it's 5 against 1, and we're going to... Boop. Oh, skull. What does skull mean? -X, where X is the number of ghoul enemies at your location. This is a ghoul, so it's -1, but that's still 4, which beats 1, so I gain a clue. And then my third action, I'm going to move out of here. I know there's a clue still there, but I cannot fight. I'm not good at that at all. Enemy phase. There is now an enemy, but because it's exhausted, it's not going to do anything. It was only if it would be ready to do it. Then we do upkeep, which does bring it back up, and it just stays there. There are some keywords that say it would move, like hunter or something, it would chase me, but this one doesn't. It's just in the attic. And I don't really want to fight it. Upkeep, I draw 1, and I get a supply. Coolio. Okay, top of the round. Doom, but it's 7 this time, so that's okay. And let's take a card. Rotting Remains. Test 3 mind. For each point you fail by, take a horror. Horror's okay. Do I want to add anything? Yeah, let's just add 1 to put me on 4 against the 3. Just to try and succeed. And it wasn't 1 card, it is literally, it has 1... Oops. Oh, come on. Tag that matches the type that I'm doing. Okay. The bag's not included in the game, by the way, and neither are the little plastic tubs, they're mine. But everything else is in the base set. Certainly the original one. I assume the revised one is even better. Ooh, what's this one do? -1. If you fail, take a horror. Did I fail? No, because I boosted it by 1 to make it 4. -1 is 3, so it matches exactly. So nothing bad happens. Nice. Alright, my turn. 1 action, move to the cellar, which reveals it. Ooh, forced. After you enter the cellar, take a damage. Well, great. Damage is not good. If you succeed, heal the damage from the investigator. Failed, deal the damage to the investigator. Yeah, but there's no way, surely. Who knows? But I'm here. There are 2 clues here as well. That's helpful. But the shroud is 4, so that's 1 action. Let's spend 2 supplies to bring out a flashlight. That's going to use my other hand. And it has 3 uses, which I just denote with this. So it's 2 actions down. Uses 3 supplies, spend 1 supply. So as an action, I spend 1 supply to investigate my location, and the location gets -2 shroud. So I'm going to do that for my 3rd action. Pull off a use, which triggers this ability, investigate, which is what I'm going to do. But it's now at -2, so I'm only facing 2, so because I don't want to commit any cards. That'll give me +1. Okay, let's make it 6-2, just to be sure. Unless I get the automatic fail. No, it's the... oh, actually it's 0 this time, because there's nothing else at my location. So I succeed. Gives me a clue. Now, her special power was, you may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used for tome abilities, so I am going to do that. Oh, so this has been exhausted. I couldn't do that again, I don't think. Okay, and then this one, choose an investigator at your location and test 2 books. I'm on 5-2. And the investigation, -2, 3-2. So I still succeed, which allows me to heal a damage. Okay, enemy phase. Again, no enemies here, and they're not moving. So that's it. So we come to, what do they call it? Upkeep. So this readies, oops, that shouldn't have been there. They don't need to ready. I draw a card, and I gain a resource. Top of the round, Doom, and card. An icy ghoul spawns in the cellar. Oh, joy. Which automatically then engages with me, because I am in the cellar. Okay. No, I need to keep that one. Right, so it's my turn. And I have to evade if I want to do anything else first. It's not going to chase after me. But its evasion is 4. It's easier to fight it, but I don't want to fight. Or is this the time to use this? Well... well, that's no fun. Let's mind. If this skill test is successful while investigating a location, discover an additional... oh, I should have done that then, shouldn't I? Never mind. Gosh, I don't know how I'm going to fight this thing. I'm going to have to use that. No, I want to evade. Oh, I can spend to evade. Nice, let's do this then. Okay, first thing, let's try and evade. I've got a score 2, it's got 4. I'm going to spend all 4 of my resources to get +4 to my evasion from my hyper awareness. Do I have any cards to spend that I want to spend? Not really. Okay, so what am I on? 6-4, so even a -2 is okay. -1, perfect. Okay, so it's evaded, so it comes here. That's 1 action. Let's investigate. Why wouldn't I? And because it's still on the Shroud of Fall, let's use this again, which triggers the investigation, and it gets -2, so I'm on 5-2. So as long as it's not the automatic fail. Okay, what's this? -1, fine. 4-2, so I win. That's that, and then for my 3rd action, I'm getting out of the cellar. Fine, that's 3 actions. Monster phase. This one, nothing. This one is exhausted, so it can't do anything. Nice, so upkeep. This readies, but I'm not there anymore, so let's just tuck it underneath, actually, just to show that it's in the location. I draw a card, and I get a supply. Top of the round. Bad things. Oh, I should have triggered that. Never mind, I did it now. It's too late. Revelation, take a 3 evasion. I've only got 1 resource, so I do have to commit something to this. Okay, so I'm going to get 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the question mark counts as any. That's 4, so 4 to 2. 4 to 3. Oh dear, this is not going to go well. 4 to 3 minus 0. Cool. I did it. I did it. Nice. Now it's my turn. That's silly of me because that was at the end of the round. That should have happened, but I already moved on, so I'm not going to go back and cheat or anything. Not today. What do I want? Let's use 3 actions to let's gain a resource. Let's gain 2 resources and a card, and that'll be my turn. Nice. Cool. Fine. But enemy phase, nothing happens. Refresh. Okay, gain a card, gain a supply. Now, this said, when the round ends, which is now, investigators in the hallway may as a group spend the clues. It was 3 to advance. What happens? Using the barrel from the attic. Yes, we heard about that. Oh, I didn't read about the cellar. Your cellar seems to have been replaced with an underground network of icy tunnels and caverns. The cold chills you to the core. Okay, so what did I take from there? Using the barrel from the attic, and you carry ice and snow from the cellar and hurl it all at the barrier. Okay. The barrier sparks and shudders as it consumes the ice, then hisses and fades out of existence. The barrier blocking the passage to the parlour has vanished. Reveal the parlour. So I'm going to flick that over. Ooh. Impressive, though gruesome artwork. Put the set aside Lita Chandler. Yes, I put some cards aside that it told me to. Into the parlour and set aside the ghoul priest in the hallway. Oh good, a big monster. What I really wanted from right now. That goes away. A woman with a torch stands in your parlour, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. What have you done to my barrier? She screams, furious. Before you can answer, a ghastly wail sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the walls, advancing towards you. Objective, there's no clues for this. If the ghoul priest is defeated, advance. That's going to be tricky because it takes 4 to even hit it, and it has 5 health per player, and it's going to hit me for 2 and 2 each time. It does chase me around because it's a hunter, and it retaliates, which means if I try and hit it and miss, it hurts me. She's at this location, and because I'm automatically there, well, fun. Cool. So that was the end of the round. New round. Mythos. So we add Doom, and I draw, please don't be a monster, a card. Okay. Place 1 Doom on the current agenda. That's not so bad, actually. Cool. Because it doesn't trigger, it still gives me a couple of rounds. But I do have a ghoul priest in my face. So wait, have I done this badly? When engaged, do anything other than fight or evade. So that includes playing a card. Oh, you idiot. So I can't do this to figure out how I was going to fight, so I have to do an evasion. Fine. Oops, that's not that. Because I can't use these. Well, butskis. So I can come in the parlour and resign if I want to, because there are different types of endings. I can die, I can take a resign ending, or I can complete the thing, or this bad thing happens. Okay. Can't fight it, because I have no way of boosting my punching. Punch boost. So I want to try and evade it, which I can spend things on. That would make it 5. And I can't add anything to it, so it's just 5 to 4, and I just have to hope. Because if I don't, I'm going to take some damage. What's that? -1. 4 to 4, perfect. That does it. This is in the hallway, exhausted, so now I'm free to do other things. I could choose to re-engage it, I think, but I don't want to. I want to move into the parlour, because I want to get other things out. Search the top 3 cards of your deck for a spell card. Nope. Draw the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, then discover 2 clues. Nope. It's not useful to me anymore. Not useful at all. These aren't useful. So I have to... So that's 1. That was 2. While you control Lita Chantner, each investigator gets +1 to their punch. And while Lita Chantner is here, I can do an investigation 4. If you succeed, take control of her. Interesting. Let's try and do that then. That's what I have to do. Absolutely have to do. And let's get rid of these 2 because they're of no use to me. So that's 1, 2 books. Plus my 5 is 7 to 4. It's literally the automatic fail is the only way I can. Do. +1. Even better. So she comes in as an ally. Okay, not so bad. Because she's got 3 and 3. And I can hit fractionally harder. Let's do this. Enemy phase. It doesn't chase after me because it's exhausted. I've got this wrong many times before, but I've triple checked as many times as I can. That's why I've got the rules there, because I always get it wrong. It doesn't do anything in the hunter phase, in the monster phase, enemy phase, whatever it's called, because now in the upkeep phase, it readies, and it couldn't do anything else. Fine. Perfect. I also draw a card and gain a supply. Do I have more than the number of cards? Discard down to 8. 1, 2, 3, oops, 6. No, because I got rid of a couple. Fine. Top of the round. Mythos. Bad. Doom. And a swarm of rats. Hooray. Wherever I am, automatically engages, but I only need to hit it once. It is not a monster, though. That's a shame. It's just a creature. But I can still try and punch it. Because, yes, let's try and punch. So I've got 2 to its 1. +1, so I've got 3 to its 1. What have we got here? Let's grab that one. -2. 1 to 1. Perfect. It's dead. That got rid of that. But that does use up an action, so I can't move and hit. So it's going to come and get me. So there's no way of playing this. During your turn only until the end of the round. Well, this is butts, isn't it? Your resource, oh, I see. Gains me free resources. Anything here I can do? No, because I'm not investigating. I'm trying to punch something. Spend a charge. Look at the top 3 cards of the investigator and or the encounter deck. Return them in any order. So that'll tell me what I get. So I've done 1 action. Let's do that. Let's spend my only resource. This has a different symbol. Arcana, whatever it is. And I have 2 of those in play at any time. Put that there. Yep, you can see that. Which has 3 charges, and then my 3rd action, let's use one of them to look at the top 3 cards of my deck to see what I'm going to pull next time. Is there anything that helps me punch? No, of course there isn't. Good. Good. Don't need any of these. Well, I don't want them. I'm going to draw... what was that? Oh, that's 3 actions. Done. Well... Cool, should have done the encounter deck. Never mind. Monster turn. This is going to move into my area now, and it is going to attack me, and I just take the damage. There's nothing I can do. It is 2. I'm going to put them on her, because why not? Fine. Garbage. This is not helpful. I thought it was, but it's not. Okay, re-up. Oh, so that would have exhausted it to fight me. It's now back, as is this. Cool. And now this happens. garbage. That's 7 doom, which is what it said. What happens next? A feral beast, roughly humanoid with a canine cast and hooves for feet, tears through the ground in front of you. Below the floor, you can see vast tunnels beneath your house. Fiendish howling echoes from deep within the underground caverns. Okay, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a ghoul enemy is discarded. The lead investigator draws the enemy, so it's absolute butts. Cool. Okay, 10 doom. But at the end of the enemy phase, each unengaged ghoul moves 1 step towards the parlour. And at the end of each round, place 1 doom for each ghoul in the hallway or parlour. So it's going to get there quicker than 10 rounds. What am I doing on shuffling? Well, but this is going to go badly. Do I resign or do I let myself die? I tell you what, I'm just going to let myself die. I'm not going to resign because you want to see me die or succeed. Who knows? So we flip, not a ghoul. Flip, not a ghoul. Not a ghoul. Ghoul automatically comes to me. Great. 3 and 3. Fun. Oh, in fact, this one's engaged with me as well. 2 things. Haha. Let's just try punching then. That's all I can do. I'm just going to use this as an additional fist. Great. Okay, additional fist puts me on 3, puts me on 4. Trying to hit the big guy, which is 4, so a 0 or better will do it. Well, actually 2 damage, won't it? A 0 or better, and I get worse. If I fail, take a horror. I took a horror. Let's try punching again. Draw a non strategy card, cancel. Okay, +1 again, +2, so it's 4 and 4. Oh, it's got retaliate. Well, great. So, because I've missed the first time, I take 2 horror and 2 physical damage. Okay, let's try again. What have I got? I'm on 4 and 4. 0, perfect. I do it 2 damage because of Leech Enchantment. Out of 5. I have to try and hit it again, but I have nothing to help me. I can't even... activate as an action because I have something engaged with me. Because if I do that, it'll hurt me, but that might be better. How many actions have I done? No, because that would just be to heal 1. That would just be to look at the cards, which is of no use to me. They're both going to attack me, so I'm going to die. Because that's going to do me a total of 3 damage. Well, no, she can take 1, but then I can't hit anymore. I just have to gamble it. I have no way of boosting this punch, but I have to try and do a punch on the ghoul priest. It won't kill it, and I will still die, but come on, +1. Oh, it's +0. Why is it +0? So that's 3 to 4, so I lose. But I do get to draw a card. Hooray. But it is going to retaliate and do me 2 damage and 2 brains. If I do the additional action, it's going to get to hit me. So she has to be dead, surely. I gave her one of those. Fine, she's dead. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. That was my 3rd action, wasn't it? Ah, silly. Oops, no, that was from there. Because now I can't do the resign thing, so I have to actually lose. Nice, 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 nice. Cool, cool. She can't punch. Why can't she punch? Why is there nothing that helps me punch? That's 3 actions. Is it? Is it? Or is it only 2? I've punched twice. That's it. Oh, I do have a third action. Let's resign. Okay, is that how we do? Does this tell me how to resign? Nope, it's got nothing to do with it, so let's check this thingy. Oops. No resolution was reached. Each investigator either resigned or was defeated, so either way it would have been this outcome. You barely managed to escape your house with your lives. The woman from the parlour follows you out of the front door, slamming it behind her. You fools, see what you've done? She pushes a chair in front of the door, lodging beneath the doorknob. We must get out of here. Come with me. I'll tell you what I know. We are the only ones who can stop the threat that lurks beneath from being unleashed throughout the city. You're in no state to argue. Nodding, you follow the woman as she runs from your front porch. So if I was continuing on, this would matter because things happen that my house is still standing, the ghoul priest is still alive, that I do have Lita Chandler, and I would gain experience, which allows me to swap out cards in my deck with extra cards that come in the box, preferably to help me punch things. But there you go, I lost. And mild spoilers, should I say at the beginning? Never mind, tiny ones. It's the beginning of the base box, who knows? There are 3 stories in here. This was just the first one, The Gathering, so it doesn't matter necessarily about winning and losing because you still get to advance. But I resigned, hooray. I lost, but with a shred of dignity, which, you know, is all that matters. Thank you very much for watching. That is Arkham Horror, the card game. Some of the base set for you. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel so you stay updated when I put out new videos. In the meantime, do find me on social media. It's great to hear from people. Until the next time, thank you very much for watching. I've been Dieter for Winslow Loosemore. Bye.